What's going on, family? We are back again for another Friday session. We are doing legs today. I've already completed my 10-minute brisk walk, and so I'm getting into a set of exercises that are going to stretch me out a little bit. I'm doing calf raises, and then I'm going directly into squats right after the calf raises. And I've noticed that when I do that, man, it prepares me for the heavier weight that I'm going to be going to, and hopefully, I'll be able to complete everything as I need to. One thing you'll notice too, and I noticed it myself in looking back at the video, the form that I take is a wider stance, and I think one of the ways that I really condition my legs is by that wider stance. Some people say your stance ought to be parallel with your shoulders. I'm a little bit farther out than shoulder length apart, so I found that works for me, and then I get a good stretch and a good burn in the process. So that's usually the way that I take, the approach that I take to it. So now we have another exercise, or a set of exercises that we're going to do. I have two machines that I'm going to be working on right now. What I'm doing is a variation of the leg press. I'm doing single leg presses first, left and right leg, and then I'm going to go into a leg press with both legs. And so it's a little isolation. I'm not going all the way down, maybe about halfway, doing a little isolation. And then the exercise that I'm using to complement that will be the leg extensions. And we're going to do those leg extensions also. Like I said, we're trying to loosen up a little bit, maybe build a little bit more strength, so that when we go to do the leg presses, we'll be ready to go. All right, main event time. We are at the last workout of the day. I should say last exercise, the leg press. So I'm doing a little different today. I'm starting out with 2 plates apiece. I'm going to be going from those 2 plates all the way to 6. Now, for me, by far, the leg press is probably my favorite exercise to do in exercising legs. It's something that I try to put into the rotation every Friday. And I try to get, to that maximum weight. Next week, we're going to go up. I'm thinking about 25 pounds on each side. We're going to try to see if we can maneuver that. But right now, the goal is 6 plates apiece. And so that's what we're going to be working toward. The whole workout today, matter of fact, is geared toward being ready to handle the 6 plates that we're going to be attempting on the very last set of this exercise. The whole workout, stretching and extending, is just for this particular purpose. And as you'll probably see, man, I'm taking my time, even though the video is sped up quite a bit. I'm taking my time with it. I'm not in a rush. I'm making sure that my breathing is proper, my form is good. And so, like I mentioned in the last video, you have to be careful because you don't want to come away with an injury. And injuries really result from people not paying attention. That's the main way that a lot of times that people get injured, especially with the kind of weight that we're dealing with here. They are not paying attention as they're working out. And so, you have to slow down so that you can be aware of, signs that your body might be giving you. And those signs, if you don't pay attention, you'll pay for them in the end. And so, like I mentioned, I'm taking my time with it. Easy does it. And we're going to get all 5 of these sets done. And we're going to do it in a way where the breathing is proper and the form and the technique is good.
As you can see, man, I just finished up with the gym. Today was leg day. Put this seatbelt on. There we go. Hope everybody's week went well, man. But I guess what I want to know is, did you earn your weekend? Did you earn it? Did you earn that rest that you're going to take this weekend? You put in a sufficient amount of time, man, to make sure that you had what you need, you and your family? I guess that'll be the real question for this morning. You ain't taking no shortcuts, did you? I hope you didn't. And that's an interesting thing to ask, because I tell you, man, when I was in 6th grade, now of course I'm 39 years old, so that's a long time ago. But in 6th grade, man, we had this math teacher. Her name was Miss Annie Reed. And Miss Reed was teaching us division. She was teaching us division. Some of us were getting it, some of us were completely lost, right? But really what it was long division, right? And so I remember going home that night and looking at the way that she taught us, and I was like, it's an easier way to do this. I don't think we should have to take all these steps, because Miss Reed was the type of person, she wants you to show her every step that you made. Every step. She wanted to see it down on paper. And I'm like, well, if I divide 2 in the 4, I'm going to get 2. So I'm trying to see, why do I have to put all that? But anyway, the next day I approached Miss Reed, and it was after class, and I showed her a couple of the things that I was doing. And she said, yeah. She said, that's correct. She said, but it's not time for that yet. It's not time. She said, you hadn't earned the ability to take shortcuts yet. You hadn't earned it. And I thought to myself, what you mean earned it? Well, her thing was this. I proved, or I would be able to prove that I earned it when I successfully passed the test with A. When I could clear that section that involved long division, when I could clear it with an A, then that meant that I had proved that I knew the subject matter. I didn't get it at the time, but that's one thing that I thank Miss Reed for. I thank her for that to this day, because Miss Reed taught me something very valuable in that instance. You earn the right to take shortcuts. You earn it. You don't go into a situation looking and saying, okay, where can I cut corners here? Or where can I cut corners there? You got to earn that ability. You got to show through patience and persistence that you know what you're doing. And you think about that. That's true in every facet of life. You first get hired on the job, right? They teach you the full instructions about how you ought to perform your job. They don't give you any shortcuts. They say, now go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you'll finish successfully with this particular project. They don't give you no shortcuts. You have to earn that over time. Because to be able to use a shortcut means that you are fully aware of everything that you're supposed to be doing. And if you're not fully aware, then the shortcut that you come up with, it might not be one that works out in everybody's favor. So I appreciated that. And I take that sentiment with me into life. Am I looking for a shortcut, or am I looking for the way that this is supposed to be done, the full method of what it's supposed to be done? If I can take the full method and take it all the way from beginning to end and be successful, then that means I understand what I'm doing. At that point, then I can introduce shortcuts. You see people do that in life, man. They do that in life. You see them and they want to get into a new situation, and the first thing they want to know is, what's the easiest way to get this done? What's the easiest way to make this money? What's the easiest way to get this house or this car? No, don't be concerned with the easiest way, man. You ain't earned it yet. You ain't earned it. And if you've earned it, then you'd already know what you should do. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Because I tell you something, it's a thought that ain't never let me down. Ever. Going the long way round, man. And then another thing about that situation too, if you go the long way round, you can replicate it. Right? Because you know what's required. So you can take that situation from beginning to end and not have a problem, because you know what you're doing. So man, that's why I asked you, did you earn your weekend? Did you earn it? Or did you take some shortcuts along the way? Regardless of what you did, man, I hope that thing worked out for you well. My week was wonderful. Got a lot of things that I needed to get done, man. Handle my responsibilities like a man would. I'm good with it. So look, you know I love you, man. Peace.